The father and son were reunited. At that moment, the bear appeared and said, "Why don't we let the boy stay with me?" From a distance, the panther called out, "We all want to keep him, but look at the current situation. The wolf king isn't dead yet. The boy staying here would be very dangerous. I'll escort him safely out of the forest." In the end, the tiger reluctantly agreed to let the kitten go. So, the poor kitten set off again on a new journey. Whenever the boy grew tired, the bear carried him on his back, while the black panther often scouted ahead, keeping watch for any signs of danger. Meanwhile, the kitten's father, after regaining consciousness, would often look at a picture of his son and blame himself. One day, the sage healer happened to recognize the boy in the picture as the one who had once come to him for medicine. After hearing the entire story from the healer, the father decided to head into the deep forest to find his son. Just as he reached the edge of the forest, the father encountered the Black Panther. Having spent many years in the army, the father wasn't afraid and immediately assumed a battle stance. The panther, enraged, leaped at him to attack, but the father swiftly dodged to the side. At that moment, the kitten and the bear arrived. The boy recognized his father in front of him and shouted loudly, running as fast as he could toward him. Evil Claw has revealed himself. The kitten screamed and ran as fast as he could toward his father. The boy could never have dreamed that his father would show up in this place. Overjoyed at finding his son, the father couldn't hold back his tears, and the kitten cried his heart out on his father's shoulder, grateful that fate hadn't completely closed all paths to survival for him. The Black Panther finally returned the kitten to his father. At the moment of farewell, the kitten couldn't bear to part, clinging tightly to the panther's neck. Even the bear couldn't hold back his tears. At this time, the forest had entered a period of drought, and only one isolated lake remained. This period, known as the Piece of Stone, was when all animals gathered to drink water, and no hunting was allowed. While the tiger was drinking with the other creatures, a fierce roar suddenly echoed across the area. The appearance of Evil Claw sent fear through all the animals. He slowly approached and said, "Sheltering a useless kitten that caused a fire in the forest is a great shame. My brother is no longer fit to rule this forest." The Tiger Lord was furious, but since it was the time of peace, he had no right to attack. In the end, Evil Claw walked away, promising to return after the Piece of Stone ended. The tiger stood alone at the highest peak of the mountain. It seemed that the proud lord of the jungle had already sensed that a brutal conflict was about to descend upon the forest. The bear's concern grew. After reuniting, the father and son returned to the healer's house. The kitten's father contacted a lawyer and received shocking news. All of his assets had been stolen by his stepwife and her lover. Fortunately, the kind healer allowed the father and son to stay in a small house behind the mountain. Every day, the father would accompany the healer to gather herbs, while the kitten stayed home, spreading the herbs out to dry. By now, the period of peace in the forest had passed, and the trees were thriving once more. The bear went to see the Black Panther, hoping to find a way to help the Tiger Lord defeat Evil Claw. The bear had heard that Evil Claw had formed an alliance with the Wolf King and a pack of venomous snakes. However, the panther refused, saying, "This battle is between the Tiger brothers and has nothing to do with us." Disappointed, the bear turned to leave and said, "In that case, I'll go to the village and ask the kitten's father for help." With a worried look, the bear headed straight for the village. Even though the situation was urgent, the bear couldn't resist the sight of honey and indulged in a massive feast. A little while later, the bear found the kitten standing in the yard. The kitten excitedly ran to hug the bear. The bear said he was looking for the kitten's father but didn't explain the reason. Since the father was still out gathering herbs, the bear had to stay and wait.